little number. How do you know for sure?
Well, how y'all doing out there?
How do you know for sure?
Climate clown.
For sure.
Welcome.
I'm gonna have to start wearing some lighter shirts. Can't see me. Toilet's covering you. Let's do this. Oh. Now it's covering me.
As long as it's just this half, because I wore my don't give a crap pants today.
It's weird.
Bottom half.
Thing's big, man. We're gonna have to find somewhere to put that damn thing. What be crack now? It's in my way because I can't see the chat. Although I'll be looking at my phone or sometime.
That's the skibbity toilet.
There we go. I don't know.
You should have told that kid at the Hall of Fame that was working with us. He had a skibbity toilet. He would have went insane.
Oh, look, we ain't even in there yet, and he's already talking shit about the Hall of Fame.
Just that kid, man.
Where Gary's at? Oh, no, Gary. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I see him in there.
What's up, everybody?
I need to get my phone out.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
And remember, the views and opinions expressed by the individuals in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of the Outhouse podcast or its affiliates, the guests, or even us. It's just for entertainment purposes only.
Got it.
How do you really know?
Mixture between a crash and some water there, so you just drove off a cliff into water. That's how that was. It was a double whammy. Barry says, "What's up, y'all? I'm here. I'm here.
Disappeared.
We appreciate you." All messages. Dennis
didn't go to the AC/DC show he was supposed to go. He called me and asked me if I wanted to go. I was like, I can't, bro. I got a show and too much other shit going on.
Been on quite a bit this week and this weekend, and more's coming up. It's like boom, 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 back to back to back. That's how the media farm rolls.
How's that?
Zachary. Zach and Susie here for a bit. Hey, let's go. Appreciate you tuning in, Gary.
Yeah.
Love public apology. I was just telling Tom about that. That's awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Get here in the chat real quick, y'all.
Started as a bunch of emotions, and it kind of boiled into a single song, but it's not enough room in the song.
Did you hit your all messages?
I did. Yep. I'm double check it, but I'm
Zachary
sure. Yes,
and
I did.
Susie. What's up, everybody? Again, we don't have a guest, so we're just gonna wing it.
Welcome.
We do, we can just talk shit because that's what we do on the Outhouse podcast. We talk shit about shit. Yeah.
So if you got some complaints, you got some jokes, you got some roast, whatever you want, folks.
So I spent a grueling weekend there at the Ribs Burn Off, the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ribs Burn Off up there. On the sound crew. That was fun. Bunch of good bands. Old school dance music, of course, New Wave Nation. And then, what was it? Sugar Creek country band. They was good. They was missing their keyboard player, they said. And then, what the hell was the other one?
Redford,
yeah, country Redford. And then the last night was
out something house.
Rock House.
Rock House, that's it.
And then somebody else. I should know this shit. It was all good. I got some footage, just most of it.
Yeah. All the names are on film multiple times right there. Be sure to watch out for that because the full show has been filmed and will be released on this channel.
Yeah, on the Media Farm, sure enough. I'm like, huh? Like, what, man?
A lot of work was put into that, man. Tom was out there all day on his feet.
I had
2 cameras, making sure.
It was 2 hours a show for each band, so 4 hours.
First day,
just
there was
doing the camera thing, but then I had to monitor Q92's deal.
Yeah, he was doing everything. But the first day, the footage, you didn't even get it because like you had it all set up and then it didn't even record.
Well, I got because
you got the handheld.
I couldn't find the battery for my mobile camera. I have 2 of them, and one was acting funny a couple weeks ago. That's the Owl camera back there. So when I went and did this gig, I only had enough battery for like 1 band, and I wanted to get New Wave Nation because they was before. Damn it, Owl. I wanted to get the full two camera view of New Wave Nation, so I only used the main camera for old school, and then that's the one we get the audio from. And then turns out I must have not hit record hard enough, or I did something, but I never got no New Wave Nation footage on the main camera, which means I don't have audio. All the footage on the moving camera is freaking great, dude.
Yeah,
There's
that's what
so
I said.
many
You still
great
have
shots,
angles
dude.
of it, just not that one.
Oh man,
that main one.
But the audio's terrible because of the microphone by the speakers when I'd go over to the right or the left or whatever,
yeah.
and it was just. But man, the actual video of it, man, it's excellent.
But like I said, be on the lookout for it. It's gonna be crisp footage that you probably wouldn't be able to see anywhere else.
I'll probably pop up as I did them, as they played. I'll probably do old school first because it's just 1 camera. I don't have to edit. I got to go in and edit the audio a little bit. That's all.
Old School was the nicest band
was cool.
out there.
And
friendly wise,
yeah.
the way Tim introduced himself to me, the drummer, that was cool. And then that little exchange that it made me feel good. But they were actually kind. New Wave Nation, when they came in, they were kind of complaining about everything. They were like saying it's Ohio. Yeah, they're like, we want it to be ready. It's like, we are ready. Your stuff's not, and you're blaming us.
Well, what he's talking about is they lost power 4 times.
Yeah.
They was trying to, you guys, and because we had a power distro. And all our stuff was still on. It turns out by the end of the night, they found out it was the bass player's rig had some kind of power issue with the cord or some shit.
So that's +1 for Ohio. We win on those grounds.
Oh, I forgot, Gary. Hold on.
Gary says he has severe social anxiety at big events. I feel you on levels you don't even understand. You know how many times I had to get up and walk around, dude? I
Gave
just
me the
was
old
like,
crackhead bell. You know when you take a hit of crack, your brain does that. The dinging.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to call somebody who gives a shit, and then the one-hit wonder. or if you get an idea, then it would be like.
Yeah, I like that one.
We'll use that. I forgot. It's been sitting over there on the table. I keep forgetting we got a certain box that we put all these little goodies in. Now that it's here, it'll go in with the box. What an idea.
All kind of little goodies we just don't utilize, and we just need to somehow. I don't know.
And then when you do call somebody who gives a shit, they don't give a shit either. So you gotta make sure you hear that little bell ringer there too.
Ding. Put them both beside each other, and it's gonna get your double ring. I heard it from over there somehow.
You hear that?
Yeah.
That was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's some like aftershock ringage.
Is it because of the table?
Oh, no, it's because my phone is volumed up. Or your phone. Mine's down.
Oh, you know what? Mine might be up. It is. My volume is up. Yeah.
Because I was like, damn, what the hell was that ding, man?
Yeah,
what?
Dude. Weird one. So the ghost right there. That was. FaZe Rug does that. He has the literal bell, and it'll ding when the ghosts are around. It's like, I was like, what? That's crazy. There's a real one.
No, that works perfect, Gary. Said you wanted a dinger. That's the best I could do. That sounds just like it, don't it? Take that hit. That's funny for those of you that know. They used to call it the bell ringer back in the day.
Man, he's saying a lot in the chat. Alex jamming. That's why they call it dope. What's up, Zach and Susie? Yo, Zach and Susie, you still in the house for a bit?
Well, it's like, nah, they talking about smoking crack.
You never know.
We gone, man. That's too heavy for me.
That
yeah,
show
it was a good time.
wild.
Bunch of good ribs up there. Who was the winner? Fat Freddy's was the winner.
Oh, okay. I didn't know, and I didn't get a chance to have any.
I got some
Dude.
of it. It was pretty good. I don't know. Now there was one called Johnson's. I was kind of upset with them. Not that it wasn't bad ribs, but their portions was shit.
Well, they had a guy out there who was literally spitting game. Me and my buddy were walking around. He's like,
That
and he
black
stops us. Yeah, and I was like, "Yo, are they paying you, homie?" He's like, "Get you some. They
Yep,
good."
Be the best ribs here.
I'm like, "That's how they win, right there."
He goes, "You see, when there's a line, it's right here."
He's
I
out there
was dying.
working it like.
Because I went up to get him, and he was harassing people going by. Whenever I was standing there, I was laughing. He wasn't harassing them, really. I'm just saying that he was
No,
cool. Old
he
dude.
was, yeah, he was good. It got us. So he was like, "Hey, okay, you know, one of the most friendly services out there." I didn't get to see who
But
won.
yeah,
I didn't get to
I
try.
wasn't happy with their portions.
For the price, dude. Yeah, I could have hit up old girl Taryn, cause shout out to Taryn. She was working the event. And be like, "Hey, slide me
says,
like a sample or something."
Zach and
But
Susie come from the love generation.
I'm like Gary,
The
and I have social
Woodstock
anxiety,
days.
so I couldn't talk to anybody.
Here, eat this. Here, eat this too.
It was hard to ask for a water, but like I saw you got a water, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go ask and see where the waters are, because I don't want to get one of theirs. They pulled out this big old water. Here you go. I'm like, oh, cool,
dude
thank
over
you.
there?
Yeah,
Kevin.
Johnny, Kevin, yeah. Shout out those guys.
They
Robert,
had a whole crew, Rob and Mark Bigsby
yeah.
and Kayla.
Shout out Kayla. Nicolina.
Nicolina.
Yeah.
Who else was up there?
Man, there was so many legends in one place. It was ridiculous. That like, it was cool to be a part of something like that. And it was just like, wow, this is how it works, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wild. Being on stage, like you feel some kind of important. It is. Then you get recognized.
You
That
know,
was
it's
cool.
funny how, you know, you sit around all that time until right before the band goes on, like or when they get there and you got to set up all that stuff, and then when they get off, it's hustle.
Yeah.
And then when they're playing, it's like sit there, unless you're doing what I'm doing, like running the cameras and whatnot.
Yeah. You were kind of running all over. I did a lot of sitting there.
You know, I noticed that a lot of people, when I was talking about it, they was like, "Oh, the ribs burn off. Where was that at?" Like, I don't know why I don't know what the deal was with the advertisement.
I didn't see any advertisement
You know
about it
what I mean?
personally.
But I might like, cause you know Mark's in there, and then that Kayla lady, she runs all that shit. I might be like, "Hey man, you guys need people to make flyers or something for your shit, or
Something,
some kind of."
yeah.
You guys ain't advertising nothing, because a bunch of people didn't know. The only reason I knew about it really was because they called me up. "Hey, you gonna do sound?" Or else I wouldn't even.
Really? Wow. They should
Probably
have like a
known about it.
Facebook event, because that's
Although
what they
I
have
do
for
listen
like.
to Q92 once in a while, lately I've just been listening to my Lamb of God CD, so I haven't been listening
But
to the radio.
Q92 talks about events that go everywhere, because they go everywhere. So, you know, it's like a hometown thing right here. Promotion should have been hit harder on that. I personally also didn't get any kind of notification. Only way I knew about it was because of you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. And then I got to be a part of it, which was even more just dope. And where they had it at the Hall of Fame, it's interesting. They're like, I feel like they're still on a learning curve to
They
figuring
are.
out how things
They
get
should
run
have
down
it
there.
up there on that corner where them steps are, because
Yeah.
the sucky thing is they don't let you drive out. It was out there on the fake field, the stage out right beside the Hall of Fame, not the Fawcett Stadium field, but or whatever it's called now, but the one where the kids throw the footballs.
Little turf. Yeah.
And we had to dolly everything from that little road where the parking lot is all the way across that field, and it sucks.
Yeah, we did. And then the band did it from the corner because they didn't want to pull down.
Yeah, I don't know, New Wave Nation, they kind of blocked two roads with their equipment until
Yeah,
they got
a
done.
bus and a
If they would
trailer.
have just pulled up, they'd have been able to come straight across, but they kind of even went the longer route.
Yeah. So much of that yard right there is unpaved and just dirt right now. Like, they're still doing work to it. And once they have that figured out and paved of some kind, they're probably going to have to relocate things anyways. So it's just like, they're probably, you know what? Let's just, okay, right here.
But if they even they wouldn't even need the stage if they would put it up there where them stairs was and just bring a top in.
Yeah.
Because it ain't like they got no fancy lights or anything. Hell, they're using, a couple par cans and some work lights.
It's already raised. It'd be good enough. Yeah. I
even
agree.
bring the stage in there. Well, that'd be pretty high though for the crowd. So.
Yeah.
Because that way the bands and everybody, it's right there on that road, man. It'd be a lot easier. Gary said
they should have broadcasted the performance on the Jumbotron.
He'd come in and do all the noises for us and stuff. That'd be like Jackie the Joke Man on Howard Stern.
I didn't even see
do all that.
Aaron Sims out there. But he came to the skate park one time and was claiming he was doing videos because he helps run the Jumbotron. And he could have been out there and broadcasting that performance on the Jumbotron as people were going down the highway, dude. You know how many people would be like, what is going on down there? There's so many missed opportunities there.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is if you was going down the highway, all the rib vendors, the backs of them was to the highway, so all their signs would be facing towards the stage in the parking lot. So if you was driving down a highway and didn't recognize what they was, you wouldn't know what was going on anyway.
You could see there's an event, but what? What's going on down there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You have to stop and find out.
Yeah, it was fun. It was tiring.
Yeah, I did a whole lot of walking around. I was kind of seeing if I'd see people I knew, just to,
I didn't see nobody out there.
No, honestly, I didn't. I got
nobody.
people on Facebook that are like, hey, I was down there and I didn't see you. And I'm like, I was down there the whole day, dude.
I know, I was there. I didn't see nobody.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Gary was supposed to come by, but he never did.
When are they said to have any of that, like, park done? I know they have,
I
like,
don't know.
2 rides.
It looks like they was working on it and then just stopped. They must have got their funding cut, and now they're trying to get some money up because
well, I mean,
that building's sitting there. There's nobody working in it. There's no vehicles around it. They got to where it's at, and that's it right now.
Oh, man, I just
don't know
wonder.
what's
I know
going on
they're
with that.
doing work to Tusk again already.
Yeah, I've seen that. You know what pisses me off about that? I lived right there for 15 years, and between right there where they're working on it, clear up to right past Altman, that road was dirt. I mean, so many bumps. It just was. It ruined a couple of my cars, I think, because of all the bumps. And that and my road and Smith. As soon as I moved out of there, they fixed Smith. And then they're doing all them other roads. And then I come over here, and these roads are all shit. I'm like, wow.
Dude,
and
I
then
feel
they
like
just tore them up even more over here on 30th Street.
Tusk was just done. Well, they do the same roads because of how much it gets traveled, but it was just torn up. But I was like, it really didn't need it, and blah, 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 blah. But I drove on that new section, and it went into the old
smooth.
section where it's not even torn up, and it was a dramatic difference. And I'm like, how do you not notice this type of thing that fast? I mean, that was like one winter. It's insane.
Well,
but when they tear
could
it
make
up,
them,
man.
They could make them to where they last longer, but then, these guys don't have, the union road crew don't have jobs next year. They got to wait every 5 years. So if they just throw them in there and slap them together, a couple winters,
They cheap out of materials, too. Hopefully they'll be getting some of that put back in because, like, I heard some news that certain things could be going better because of where taxes are being placed. So hopefully that'll put more money into where the materials are needed, the actual necessary materials for things to last. But I doubt it. They do that intentionally, just like the light bulb.
Yeah, right.
Let's make it break. Dude, the roundabout right beside the highway right there, or no, it's not a roundabout. The highway from 62 to 77, that turn, it just keeps breaking and breaking and breaking. That's going to be dangerous soon. Like, if it's not already.
Going south or north? South?
When you're coming off 62 and you're trying to go to 70, south.
South, yeah, where it goes around the corner and around.
Yeah, right there in that little triangle where they just built it and already broke and already patched it.
People hit that thing all the time.
Dude, that area is terrible.
That's been like that since I was born.
And they have nothing to stop you. They just let you slide into the field. They're waiting for it. I don't know why.
No,
but
that middle thing actually, when you hit it, it softens it. The way they build it, it's like it slows you down and softens the blow and
like
all
on
that.
on the right side of it. I'm talking about like when you're taking a complete left and getting on 77 to go south from 62, going down there. That when you turn that turn and there's no barrier whatsoever, there's all kinds of potholes and it's been patched.
Oh, okay, going to the left there.
Yeah, dude,
around
it's insane.
that first left. Yeah, it's shitty.
I went down there, it was raining, and the potholes were still unpatched. And when I got there, I wasn't expecting it because it's on a blind side right there with the barrier wall. And I went around, I saw that I had to swerve into the barrier to miss it. Like, oh my God, and it's already wet. Yeah, that's not fun. But that's neither here nor there. That's just road work.
It makes my van rattle. Dennis was going to come up and do some things to it, but we got the big show this weekend, everybody, over there at the spot, the gas band. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Do not forget. It's a free show. Gonna rock the neighborhood out there.
Be vibrating the pebbles on the ground where you stand.
It's on the Facebook. I forget what the 636
636
Garfield.
Is it Garfield?
Yeah, Garfield.
Yeah, it's Garfield. Yeah, but it's in the back on Gertrude.
Gertrude.
Mm-hmm.
So over there, right in between 6th and 7th.
Where are they asking
right there
people
by the
to
car
park?
wash.
Are they just saying free for all?
Wash, yeah.
Yeah.
They're asking about donations or something. We'll put a tip jar up too.
It's a pretty large alley, plenty of parking back there. You won't get anybody's way, you know, because whatever. Hardly anybody back there has cars to get in the way.
Yeah.
Be right back in there, and you can park on Garfield, but that's crowded. I lived on Garfield, and parking a car out there is hard.
You could park over there at the furniture store all night.
Yeah. Dude, some dude he was parking, I think it was just for Memorial Day, but he was parking his new car in a driveway. He parked sideways and in the middle so nobody else could get in there. There's 3 other
What a
parking
douche.
spaces in there. Yeah,
I
I'm
hate
like,
when people do that.
all right. So I parked in the back where their parking space is that they didn't have a car, and I was like, okay, just for tonight, let's see how this goes. Because I'm not going to say anything about it, but my dad for sure will. As long as I have a place to park, I'll be all right. But he's taking it up for anybody else that wants to use it.
No, Gary, it's actually a private residence. It's in the garage in the back of the house where these guys are doing a little thing for the community, all the kids.
He's trying to turn it
Little
into a
jam
venue,
spot.
kind of. They do all kinds of musical events. I think, like, every day, just about.
Yeah, they got open mic Tuesday night jams and
Yeah.
fires on the weekends and cookouts and all kinds of stuff, but they have all these different musicians. Al was over there for Memorial Weekend jamming with him, eating up all their food. I went over there and, well, Louis messaged me Friday night, or I don't know what night it was. I think it must have been Sunday, and he was like, hey man, can you bring your truck over and help us get these pallets? I'm like, bro, I'm working. And he's like, oh, okay. And then when I woke up Monday, I was like, hey, you guys get all them pallets? No, we can still use your help. I was like, oh. So
What were you doing that whole time?
I didn't want to do shit because I was tired, man, and sore.
No, not you. Them. They could have
Oh,
moved.
yeah. Well, I went over there, and then old boy jumped in with me, and then it was like, damn, so I had to help him load them. Some of them were some heavy bastards, and then we get back, and everybody's like, oh, I'm like, man, you better get these dudes, these young bucks, to get here and get this shit unloaded.
Yeah.
So then they finally got a bunch of them, unloaded it. But,
It's hard as somebody who doesn't usually like work in a fast-paced, committed teamwork environment type deal where you're like moving labor and stuff, because you don't know where to jump in, and you feel weird jumping in because you feel like you're gonna jump in and do something wrong. I know I've personally struggled with this, and I've seen kids way younger than me at this point try to jump into the same type of thing and struggle with it. And it's like, you know, it's not bad to ask questions or to do things wrong. You know, just do it, and you know.
sometimes you got to ask. Seth almost had a ooh on the
Yeah.
gig.
If you don't know, you want to ask.
One DM, I call it DMX XLR because it's the same chord.
You just ask like, what can I do to help?
And it didn't want to come back out at the end of the gig. I had to take it apart,
Shh.
which wasn't his fault. It had something to do with the junk ass cord.
I almost screwed up the whole Hall of Fame show, just being me. Look.
It's like, oh my god,
dude, yeah.
No.
I plugged it in exactly how you plugged it in.
Mm-hmm.
For the A side. It was supposed to be on B. I didn't know that.
No, you was right, actually. Because I had to come out of line from the 1 into A, so it was right. It just didn't want to come back out.
Oh, I thought it had to be on the B side because
No.
that's. Oh, okay. Well,
That's
still
why I
don't
said
know.
you got
then.
lucky,
Yeah.
not realizing what you was doing. You
I'm just gonna ask next time. play it safe, cause that And then the whole time that New Wave was having their power outage, I'm just thinking, I wonder if that's that.
Yeah, no, because our shit was on. We never lost power.
No, ours was for old school. It was fine. We didn't have any issue.
For all the rest of them.
For all the rest of them,
Yeah.
exactly. That's made me feel good, cause I really,
Is that a spider?
Where?
Yeah.
I don't like spiders.
Well, I guess it was just a fragments of what used to be Skeletons of Society.
The bell dings again. Bring me your dead. Or how do you say that?
That's it.
Bring out your
Bring
dead.
out your dead.
That's it, yeah.
Bring out your dead.
Ah! I did a screamo the other night just recording.
I'm not dead yet.
And it was pathetic, dude. I sat there laughing at it for like 10 minutes. Like, oh, I can't screamo anymore. That's like
I can't do it on certain days.
Now, you can still do it though. That's
What that?
yeah,
shit?
like
You never
an
heard me
exhale
doing
and
it?
stuff.
I got that one song. A couple songs.
I don't do it any. If I really feel a passionate part, you know. But
So,
I
like
was
today,
trying to
I
do that
probably
with
do
the.
I gotta be warmed up for sure for be able to do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I gotta be like used to be doing
Mm-hmm.
it, man. It's not something I just jump into. When I did it, it come out like.
Because on the one tune we got all blow, it goes to the end and I go blow, but like I just did
Oh.
it. That's wrong because it ain't enough.
Right,
it.
force. a
But I gotta
screamo.
like sing for an hour before my voice is to where I can actually make that noise. I gotta go in and overdub that on that. Now
Yeah.
that you mention that, because the ones that I did sound like shit. So I gotta add a couple more ones that are actually the good ones.
Dude, that's what I've been doing with
go
music
right in there
recently.
after band practice, literally right after band practice, and do it, because that's I should do that song and Obsessions of Death both right after we get done. I go to put the microphone in and bam, I could probably do them how I want them. Both of them, that Obsession is gonna be hard to do how I do the growling on that shit when I'm not. I don't know without.
My thing is like once it's all said and done and pressed out, it's done. It's now a digital track or multiple tracks, and you have an album. What do you do with it? Because like I'm at that point now. Like I do press them out. They're done. As far as I'm considered, they're ready for viewage by the number one billionaire in the world. I don't care who hears it. It's perfect for me, and so it should be perfect for them because they have to recognize the fact that you're doing it without a budget. The idea of them investing into it is giving that a budget. You know what I mean? And so.
But you can still make it sound pretty damn good with no budget.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You want to get it as crisp as you can, and mine are. It's just that little. I could go in and change it all the time, but the act of going in and redoing something over and over and over sometimes ruins.
Now Rob, he's mastering our Need for Speed song, so if he gets it mastered and everybody likes it, we'll finally be able to release that dog.
Well, see, there you go. And where are you gonna? What all distributors?
I
Like
have no idea yet. We ain't on shit.
that's where I'm at. That's where I want to get with Otto on that.
That's what
I
was
talked
just
to
getting
him.
ready to say we gotta.
I talked to him and I said, hey, look, me and Todd sat down and said we want to get a date going. And he's like, okay. Some other conversation, so I was completely distracted. I'm like, all right. We didn't get that far, but that's the process I'm at right now.
Yeah, we'll get it.
We also got to finish that Ohio Steel final version if we want to go back into that and make sure that's finally finalized or whatever. I got a couple with J-Hook right now that's being produced, so I'm waiting on a producer as well for that. It's just the ones I already have that are ready. And just like, what are the biggest things I found, like promotional wise, that you could do? It's a hit or miss with putting it on Spotify, Apple Tunes, or whatever. You send it into a review show, dude. These review shows is where it's at. It matters what their public standing is, and it can cost, but. And then short-term content.
Man, Gas Band's been recording for seems like years. Well, we started over at the other place and got about halfway done, and then what happened? Oh, I think that's when the big virus hit, and then we took a break, and then when we got here, we was like, well, shit, everybody kind of plays everything a little different, sort of, than what the last recording was, because it had been so long. We kind of developed the songs a little bit more, and so we decided to re-record them, and now it's been like, damn, it's still taking forever. I still got like 4 songs to do on vocals and backups and all that shit, and Larry's got quite a few tracks to do. Now, Pat, Allen, and the bass player's all done. Jerry, it's me and Larry that's taking up all the time now. I ain't even gonna lie, but more Larry than me. So,
you think your primary focus has been more so on shows than on like distributing and stuff then? Like, do you think that's been more effective?
What's that?
In your opinion, what's the most effective way to, like, I guess, promote your music? To tell people, hey, look, I do music. I want you to buy it. I want you to invest into it, or at least listen to it and help me out. That type of thing. Do you think it's an in-person interaction? Do you think it's an online, throw it to a distributor deal and they'll talk about it on, like, the radio or something? Or what do you think the best approach to it is? Because you
as
seem
far
to,
as releasing it,
yeah, a lot of people seem to like focus on doing the shows. Like the shows is the biggest thing.
Well, yeah, because especially even like for us, you can listen to us all day long, but when you sit here,
I'm nothing like it. Like, you know, the live feel.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole different feel, you know what I mean? It's not like listening, even though these recordings here are pretty, they're pretty hot, you know what I mean? I think we've captured ourselves pretty well on these recordings, but it's still not like being in the room here, you know what I mean?
There's 2 different approaches to, like, the music when you deliver it. When you have a show, you do stuff that people wouldn't get to hear on the thing they already have, and so like there's more happening at the show than what's happening on whatever they have to go by. So
and it's just like I seen a thing today on Facebook. It said dude made a because it was a post about a bar up in Kent, and both weekend nights, I think it was Friday and Saturday night, are both tribute bands. And he was like, that's the problem with the deal today. He goes, tribute bands should be not allowed to be able to be played on the weekends. They should be during the week, and the original bands should be the ones on the weekend, but nobody's got taste for anything no more. They just want to, just be sheep and follow the the whatever.
The algorithm of people.
And he's right. And I was like, hell yeah, because obviously we're original music, and it's hard, man. People, it's weird because I hear a lot of people, oh man, there ain't no good music out there. Well, I'm telling you what, if you can't find good music today, you're not looking, because there's all kinds of good music out there.
Yeah.
on the whatever genre you want to listen to.
Yeah.
How these it's the people that say there's no good music out there are the ones stuck in the 1980s and 70s, and that's these guys, they were their best. Yeah, they was great.
The problem
but
is
you
there's
gotta
too
move
much
forward.
new music out there.
That's the problem. That
There's
is
too
the problem.
much
That
new
is
music
it.
out
That
there.
is it. And there's a lot of it that is shit in all genres.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the sad thing is that's what's mostly getting played and airs the shit for some reason, because somebody knows somebody that knows somebody. But there's good shit out there. I promise you.
And it's a hop on a train type deal. And, I've been racking my brain for, what is the train? What do people want to hop on? It's a spotlight, but what does that provide you?
What they want to hop on, there's been nothing new. There's nobody's broke on through.
They're looking for the spark.
Nobody's set a new trend lately.
Yeah.
Now, Falling in Reverse, kinda, but they're just... You know what I mean? As good as they are, their formula's the same. They start out with kind of rap, then it's pop music into the metal music. Every one of their songs are basically the same, which is cool. But they're not like Nirvana or somebody that's coming through with a whole new sound and a whole new, boom, look at this.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains, you know what I mean? Like, nobody sounds like them guys, or or any band like that. There just ain't too many of those coming out. That's trendsetters that, when Pantera come out, all of a sudden all the guitar players wanted his sound. Same with Van Halen and Randy Rhoads and
having
all them.
too much originality without having your own flair to it is hard. Like, for example, MGK, everything he makes, he sounds like him on, but he remakes what other people do, and he gives it his own spin.
Well, that's just covering a song. That's different than a tribute band. Now, a tribute band has to sound like the actual band.
Yeah.
Now, we do a couple songs. We do Black Sabbath, and now we're doing that Megadeth song and stuff. But it don't matter what we do. It sounds like the Gas Band doing that band. You know what I mean? It's like we have a sound. We sound like us. We don't sound like nobody else.
Right. And
I love that about it.
The originality, how am I trying to say it? It's between something that's been done and something that's new and fresh, and trying to do that with incorporating that sound, or without going with your own original sound and giving it that flair that has, I don't know, I don't exactly, I'm trying to word that, but yeah.
He's like,
Yeah. It's hard.
I was gonna say something once, but now it's gone.
Uh-oh, better call somebody who cares and hang up on it.
He's forgotten his lines.
There you go. Wild, man.
You know what's funny about that, actually, Gary? Because Larry's got this drum thing that I was actually going to program a bunch of sounds on, because somewhere I've got a bunch of the laughing and all the tracks from my old radio show, because I had, every time guests would come in and we'd be talking and shit, and if somebody would have a crazy laugh or they'd say a little line that was funny, when the show was over, I'd go back through that show and rip that out of the, you know what I mean, and then put it in my little thing, and I could hit the button and it would come up.
Oh, okay. Give it the laugh track to it.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was cool. It had 10 or 9 buttons, and then on them 9 buttons there was endless amount of pages that you could, page 1 through 6 was preset sound effects, gunshots, glass breaking, girls screaming, all kinds of wild shit like that.
Yeah.
Telephone ringing and all that shit that was already pre-programmed. And then after I started doing what I was doing, grabbing everybody's silly laughs, and I could stick them in there and go to page 7 and it would be laughs, and then page 8 would be, you know what I mean, you can name them and shit, and you just go with the mouse, and
That'd be cool.
And I'll have to have you listen. Some of these days, I'm going to post some of them shows on this channel. But when you'll hear, I'll let you hear that, because the one band that I had on there, I was clicking shit so much, people's other laughs and shit they were saying, that the dude was confused on what the hell was even going on. He was like, "What the?" He was like, "Oh my god!" It was hilarious because I was click, 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 and them guys was talking and laughing, and the shit was sound effects was laughing and saying different shit.
Oh, they were laughing at the sound effects and stuff,
well,
like back and forth.
Yeah, that, and then I was doing different ones, so you couldn't really tell. It sounded like there was 10 people in the room.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? And it was just all everybody laughing and saying things, and I'm like, click, 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 click.
Dang.
I had a dude that had a laugh like that.
Oh man, creating a choir laughing.
Like my dude used to. I'm gonna have him come over. He plays violin, and his name is Bogdan. He's from Ukraine. He's badass on the violin. But I had him on my shit. And,
wow.
And like one of my slogans on there was "Listen." And all my little red, listen, or listen, like that, I'd say that. So whenever I had him do his bumper for the show, he did some shit, he would say, "Slukaj," which means listen in Ukraine.
Oh.
So then I made that one a little thing, like, "Slukaj, slukaj, slukaj." You know what I mean? So like all kinds of different things like that. I had all these little sounds and shit. It was cool as hell.
Dude, that would be cool. What happened to it?
What's that?
The soundboard.
Oh, it was on a program on this old computer, but the files I still have, though, because all of them was, from...
Wonder how you could put that on, like, another one, like just program it into another one.
I know, I've been looking for something that would go on there that I could use, like, on the laptop or something, that I was going to do that, but I couldn't really find...
I have...
No apps or whatever the hell for it. I couldn't... It was kind of like that.
I don't know if you could use the one I have, but I can't use the one I have. It's a beat pad, though.
Oh,
you know what? I was
getting ready to say that one that Ray Cartagino's got, the DJ, you know how you always do.
Yeah.
It's basically like that. One of those you could use, because I think you can program those to say, you know what I mean? You could...
Well, I got one. You could try it. It's for my Apple, but I think it would probably be interchangeable with other stuff. I don't know how you get the specific sound effects on there.
How does it plug in? USB or something?
Yeah, there's all kinds of plugs on it.
Huh. We'd have to have.
I don't know if it's like what type of plugs it actually is. I'd have to be looking at it to tell you. But I got the box, I got the cords, I got the pad. And I've plugged it in and I've used it, but it's complex, and in order to figure out how to put my whole system on there and do what I want to, I'd have to really sit down and figure it out. And I wanted to, but my computer broke.
This is exactly why I like to have somebody that really knows what's going on with computer programs and all that, because they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Click, 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 click. There you go." It'd be downloaded and ready to go.
Spider from last week, man, he knows his stuff. I think he would be really vital to being able to tell you a lot of that type of stuff. He apparently doesn't know OBS as well as I thought he did.
Yeah.
But he does know StreamYard, and I don't know where he would offer to help out. But whenever we went to set up our podcast, he was just doing it. You know what I mean?
I've been asked twice now about doing a mobile show, and I have the equipment to do it, but it was a disaster last time. We're going to have to set up again another mock setup here and see if we can actually, after the chaos of this week and stuff's over, we're going to have to one of these days
test
do
it
that.
out and
see if we can actually get that, because it was, I don't know, man, it was the elements and forces that be just wasn't going to let that happen. It was a crazy how
sometimes it'd be like that.
And I brought it back here and hooked it up, and wasn't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, well, that was the
nuts,
universe.
dude.
Everything happens for a reason. I don't know. Probably when you're being more in the moment.
I was getting pissed too, I was starting to act like an ass, because where we was, it was like inside this building, and it was like, man, I'm not even exaggerating. If it wasn't 100 degrees, it was 110 with no moving air. And I'm in there sweating my ass off, and Al's dad's out smoking and cigarettes in the shade and carrying on, and I'm trying to figure all this shit out. I ended up calling Otto. He came and he couldn't figure it out. It was weird. And then finally it was just like, F it, I'm done. Pack this shit up. They was like, but, no buts. I'm done. I can't figure it out. I don't know what's wrong. Sorry, but it ain't gonna happen.
Dude,
so I packed that shit up and brought it home, set it all back up, turned it on, and it worked. I was like, what the freak? There's Otto. Speak of the devil.
Oh, no way. What up, bro? Yo,
we was
good?
Just talking about you about when we was out there trying to do the mobile show and it wouldn't work.
Where were you at that you were doing the mobile show?
In Alliance.
Oh, what was it?
It was an art show. This girl had a
they are all on.
Just this like art thing, her and her boyfriend or whatever. But I guess they just recently moved to Cleveland. She got a good job up there doing some kind of artsy fartsy stuff. So good for her. But yeah, it was a disaster out there. It was, and not that I wanted it to be. Even as hot as it was, if the shit would have worked, I would have sat there and sweated and painfully went through it. But
sure, yeah.
Man, I couldn't. It got to the point where I was so hot, because I'm a hot person anyway. If it's 68 degrees, my ass is probably 78 internally, and I'm already like in this dog. So when it's hot like that, I can't. I start
and
to
then
get
you
freaking out. Yeah, and I'm
on
like,
top of it. I mean, was there caffeine?
We got it to all comments.
For a while we didn't even have caffeine.
He said the Alliance Art and Sweatshop. It's exactly what it was.
Jeez, yeah, that'd be tough. Oof. Certain environments I will react to, but it takes a lot for me. I've worked in the really, really cold. I've worked in the really, really hot. It depends on the attitude I have going into it.
He said, look cool having twin vans parked out in front, though. Because his van's the exact same as mine, same color and everything.
Hey, that's pretty cool. All official and shit.
Only mine's got C-clamps holding the doors shut.
That's how you tell them apart, man.
Yeah. Mid, the drummer for Thunderstruck, when Larry was in there and we go to gigs, and back then I had the white van and it was nice shape, so we take it to the gigs. Larry just put gas in it, and Mid had one that was black, so I parked beside it all the time, took a picture, Spy versus Spy. I actually posted it like that once. And no, Gary, unfortunately, I do not.
I get a lot of comments whenever I get a certain haircut.
To food this weekend. I'm freaking out right now myself. Trust me.
Do what? Did I miss a comment?
No, he texted me.
Oh, okay.
Personal text.
Gotcha. Forgot what I was gonna say. There it goes again.
Or else I would. But yeah, what was we talking about?
Always talking about the art shop and conditions and working.
And the Kias.
If I'm already stressed, that's when things are bad. But if I'm not stressed, I'm fine. I can work through like ridiculous conditions. But dude, there was this one time I was working with 2 Men in a truck, and it was hot out. Like outside, it was hot. It was hard to hold on to the furniture through the plastic wrap because we were sweaty. And this lady owned like a mansion. I mean, $1 million mansion. And she wanted all this ridiculous stuff moved from a house that was low-key nicer, but kind of smaller than the one she was going into. And man, we were out there probably like 17 hours for real. And it was the end of the night. We were moving all this stuff, and I was heated. I was through. The lady had ate lunch in front of us, had it delivered, it ate it in front of us, didn't offer us anything, was super mean the whole time. There's just a lot of things went wrong the entire night. At the end of the night, she wanted the heaviest obstacle there was. It was workout equipment. Moved down to the basement where it couldn't go.
Oh.
It couldn't go, dude. and it was still sweltering hot out, and we're sweating. Man, that was a terrible time. Terrible.
So would you get it like halfway through the steps and then get it stuck or something, or right at the top?
Actually, yeah. I believe I was working with Chris at the time. Chris was like a big guy, and so he took the fall for it. He was through with everything too. And he was like, listen, we're going to move it down there and get it stuck intentionally, or just so she can't see it, act like pull it back up, say it can't
sorry,
go.
Ma'am, it's not going to fit.
Yeah, you're going to have to get this whole thing removed, and then we'll come back and do it, but we'll do it for you.
We tried spitting on it. It still don't fit.
We got out of there, dude, and we didn't have to go down. She was trying to kill us. There's no way. We would have probably died from the exhaustion. And
Otto said that's before your time, Spy versus Spy.
Oh. Well, I like spy movies. I've seen a lot.
Oh, you know what Spy versus Spy is? You just shook your head. You really don't know, do you?
Specific.
So, back in the day, there was this little cartoon, Spy versus Spy. One dude was black and one dude was white.
Nah, I don't know that.
And they'd run around fucking each other up.
Oh, okay. Nope, not familiar with that one.
Pretty cool old cartoon.
You know, my era, as dumb as it was like Agent Cody Banks.
And what I mean by white guy and black guy, I don't mean like...
Right, just like an actual cartoon of that color.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I've seen clips of it.
Little pointy hat.
But I've not seen the actual show.
They look exactly the same.
Oh, okay.
They're the same character, just one's white, one's black. Spy versus Spy.
I used to make pivot animations. One of my first videos ever, I had a animating studio, and it had like stick figures that you could preset and move around.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like black versus yellow versus purple or whatever. I got creative with it, dude. I made some cool ones. I had to make like custom ones for everything I wanted, but I made a Super Saiyan. And it was like black, and then his hair would turn yellow, and then into blue, and then red, and whatever the Super Saiyan states are, and they'd fight, and it was a lot of work. Like 10 hours plus work into one little 15-second video.
Yeah, that's right. It comes from Mad Magazine. Otto said Mad Magazine was the shit. You know, they had a thing with Mad Magazine. If you could get you to get a picture with a artist, like, you know, like a movie star, rock star, or whatever, if you could get them to take a picture with the magazine, you could get like a year free subscription. If you could get to take a picture with them holding it, you could get like a 3-year subscription. And I got a picture of Ronnie James Dio holding one. I never turned it in to get my shit. I don't even think they're still around now, but that's pretty cool, man.
Dude, that would be cool. In a
I
lot
got
of movies and video games, and even like real life still, articles, they're not magazine, but articles, if you can get mentioned in those, that's a big time deal. And to get in a magazine was a lot easier because it was, well, it was like what was out, you know, it was fresh. And even still, it's like still just as hard to break through that veil with that. There's been a couple things that I've signed up for. I never got anything off of. I used to read Popular Science magazine. I knew about all the inventions that they have today before they had them, and the ones they never came out with that were better.
Of course.
The
I
roads.
read some of those.
There was this one for roads, dude. It was tight. It was light up roads.
He said you'd make a good Alfred E. Newman.
Alfred E. Newman?
You out there with them kids, ain't you, Otto? I think he gets his kids on Wednesdays now.
I'd have to be clued in to Alfred Newman.
I'm sorry.
Alfred comes from like...
You know, because of this huh?
Eminem, Hitchcock.
Yeah.
That's what I think of, like, immediately what comes to the
Alfred.
brain. Good evening, folks. I hope you are enjoying this music. For I believe that murder begins at home.
You know, last night I didn't get to go out and do my thing because it's a holiday and everything's off by a day.
Oh, yeah.
So my good route technically would be tonight, but man, I hate that. I'm normally out there by now. Time we get down here, I don't know. I got to go out and make some money. Gary, you want to go out here later and throw some shit in the truck? What you doing, dog?
You're the controller of your universe. However long you want to do things you can do,
I mean, it sucks because, when you got two people, obviously it's less for the both of you. But, by myself, you're out there driving. It gets boring, nobody to talk to and shit.
I just mean time management wise, like if you ever wanted to cut the show short or something so you had time. Well. Or skip it. I thought about texting you something like that.
Skipping that shit.
I was like, dude, you got a lot going on, and we got a lot going on this week. We just worked the ribs burn off. Then next week we got a whole show that we're going to. Then we had this in between and a couple other things. On top of our regular lives. All that,
but two things we got, like Gary and a couple people that's in here every week that count on our dumbasses being here.
Yeah.
But
being there is the big thing. Yeah.
Biggest thing is Owl. You know what I mean? He's stuck in his grandma's all week long, other than, I guess, now he's been hanging out at the spot here and there. But
so this is the thing, too.
He looks forward to this every week. He's dying to come here. As soon as I drop him off tonight, he's dying to come here already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
Well, if there's people that's already there, like Double Z for my show, he made it at a point. He made me feel bad at one point because he was like, hey, thanks for doing this and having a place for us to show up. And I was like, yeah, no problem. We started talking a little bit, and he told me a little bit about his life. Double Z is smart. He seems like he'd be a millionaire. He does have a nice life. He lives comfortably. But he has a problem where he has reverse arthritis. It's a big old long term for whatever it is. But it starts in his middle, in his court, and whatever it is. Like in the middle of his hands, in the middle of his chest, in the middle of his ankles, and then goes out. It doesn't start in the tips. And so his body has been immobilized early because he doesn't have control of the middle. Instead of like being able to not grab things, he can't move his damn arm. And it's like, oh dude, like that's heavy. You never realize who's out there, who's listening, and for what reason. It made me feel like crap because I never do my show anymore. And I'm like,
And don't forget, we would never be that kind of show that would tell you to like, share, and subscribe or any of that stuff. We would never do that to you.
Oh, never.
Annoying people would always tell you to like, share, and subscribe every 5 minutes. Right before, though, and then right after. We don't do that. KP
on there on Facebook, he dropped like a 5-second video. Subscribe for more. This is Facebook, bro. You don't. Shout out KP.
Yeah. Old BS Malone.
Oh yeah.
He actually messaged me the other day. Hey man, I got this show. He's a promoter. And he sent me the flyer, and it's like this dude's putting on his show and wants these cats to pay him $25 to perform at his show. I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. We don't pay to play. I mean, we very rarely do a free show like we're doing next week.
I bet it's probably like Dre Day or something. Paying to play for like Dre Day is worth it because of the crowd, how big it is. But it depends, do your research and find out, because if it's not, then don't pay. Just don't.
He was talking about a bunch of rappers and stuff too, so it ain't like, I don't know.
The other thing about that is it's just like my Facebook post.
And all them guys.
The set list for some of them shows is like so many names. Dre Day that's why. Everybody in there is an artist trying to perform for all those artists, and so they all pay $25.
Yeah, I'm good.
That dude's getting rich just promoting people. And I bet you that's what it is, because I showed that to him. We went to Cleveland together. I had my big opportunity, and everybody thought it was a popular contest because what I did was apparently good, but I thought I bombed it. I forgot my lyrics. I couldn't hear the beat. I ended up freestyling, and I got the crowd to woo a couple times before I left stage.
Woo! That kind of woo?
It was wild. I think I still have the video, but
wow.
I'll show you later. Yeah, KP and Ron both went with me thinking that we're going to win. Yeah, there's no doubt. They're putting it in my head that I'm him.
Speaking of, did you see that post the other day where he was ranting off about Ron, that is, about I don't know what some people think about Memorial Day, laughing or something. He was kind of pissed or whatever.
Like disrespect veterans.
Yeah,
and stuff.
something. And then I was like, I told him it said something about calm down or something like that. And then this girl made a couple comments, and then she commented and asked me if I was like that 24/7, and I'm like what?
Was it Danae?
I think so.
Danae Kersey. That's his wife.
But I didn't know what she was talking about. You know what I mean? And I was like, what do you mean? And then she turned around and commented and asked me, what do I mean? And then I went back and looked, and that comment was gone. So then I posted, well, there was a comment where you was asking if I was like that 24/7. I didn't know what you mean. Like what?
Yeah.
I was just because my comment was, hey bro, thank you for your service. Anyway, calm your ADHDs down and enjoy the day. You know what I mean? Is what I said to him, and then she commented back, "Are you like that 24/7?" And I'm like what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just telling old boy to calm down and enjoy the day, because you know how he's always fired up. You know what I mean? So I'm like, dude.
She is too. That's why I'm like, I don't know what she was talking about.
I don't either. I was trying to get her to tell me. I didn't understand.
On a lot of his posts and starts like talking shit directly to him. Under Facebook public. And it's like, what are you talking about? In the one post, she's like, don't have so many friends that are bums. Don't be friends with bums. And I'm like,
she did say something like that, too. That's why I was just like, what the hell? She's wilded.
In person,
she actually did comment something about that. Why you got so many friends that are bums like that? I guarantee you it was something like that. I was just like, damn, who is this?
She's really kind, but she likes to talk so negatively. I don't understand. It's interesting, you know?
It's wild. And
then
he's
Facebook.
Just like, it's like dude's almost scared to leave the house, and it's like, come on, man. I mean, I know there's bad shit that goes on out there, but man, you don't be, oh well.
It's a problem.
You can't worry about it. You're gonna die one day anyway. Who cares?
I think
I think what I mean.
A problem that everybody incurs. Honestly, it's just whatever's in the air that makes you judge. And that's the problem. Like, we can't get off of that. And then Facebook doesn't help, because people will get on there and fuel the fire. Right. Exactly. Yo, speaking of, look at that.
That's twice now. We was talking about Otto, and he popped up. And
we manifested.
What's up, brother? We was just talking about you, not in a bad way.
D Bushmaster, what's good, bro?
That's funny.
That's just like the bell. This episode has been interesting. We had the bell play by itself. We had all kinds of interesting stuff.
We actually should be going to break here.
Oh, you're too late.
That's funny. I'm like, we should be going to break, and I look down, and Gary's like, no break tonight?
What is in the world? We got it set up just right.
Since you guys are just here, we'll hang out for a minute, man. We got some newcomers just slid in. We actually appreciate you guys for hanging out with us.
We do. Why do you guys come in right at break? I've noticed that this is like a trend.
We're right.
Some people like to come in right at break. That's because they're like, I'm just going to say hi real quick.
It's 10 after. It's probably over.
Yeah, I'm just going to say hi real quick and then go, because I know they're going to go. I'll pop into my buddy's live stream all the time and say hey and try to make it look like I'm there, but I don't have time to sit there.
And I do want to say that last reel that Otto made for the
gas band on that show.
That's
badass,
fire,
dude.
Huh?
All of them are. I'm I don't know how you guys do it, but for me, it takes a long time.
Oh, it does.
It takes a long time for me, dude.
When me and Ed would do those little things, like if we'd have guests, little bumpers, that little 60-second deal would take me 3 hours to 4 hours, 3 hours to do that.
It's insane,
to
dude.
Go through and I wouldn't even have to edit the video, so to say, because we would do it in one take.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't do it all in one take. We would, exactly.
Yeah.
We would sometimes it would take us 2 or 3 times to do it.
Yeah.
But we'd roll it out in one take. I wouldn't have to slice it up. You know what I mean? And then I would just add all that other stuff in there, man. But yeah.
And
Otto's killer at that, man. He does killer videos.
There's programs that can do it for you. I don't know what they are or how to utilize them.
Otto would let you know that.
But the YouTubers, thing they do, they go to editors as far as I believe.
Oh, you know what I've been wanting to ask you, Otto, while you're sitting there, and I'm thinking about that. Speaking of which, don't you have one of them things? So my thought was, if we put the music for Need for Speed, don't you have like one of those AI video generator things? And if we typed in what we wanted for it, would it not give us what we need? Like the race cars and the motorcycles and all that shit and some crashes and whatnot?
Do what?
Just curious. Because I know he's done this thing where, because he writes good lyrics too, Otto does.
Yeah.
So he's taken some of these lyrics and entered them into that AI and like, well, I want a rock song, you know, this style, blah, 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 and it come up with a song for him and put the lyrics in it.
Yeah, I seen that.
And sang it, and I was like, damn, that's actually pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, for an AI tool. You know
you was asking him how to do it?
No, I was asking him. Yeah, he says, yep. I was asking him if we could do that for our video.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for our song, like I'm saying, if we, you know what I mean, if he typed in the information and we put in there, the AI would make the video for us, because we're gonna have to. That might be faster to do that.
Everybody's gonna be utilizing AI, even industry professionals.
Well, because you know, it's already taken us this long to get the song, and we was talking about going out and filming some real, you know, because we got people that's got badass cars and shit. But if we can do it like that, you know, maybe we'll put out 2 videos or something. But we need to get something out there, man. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I want to do it for the choruses to my songs. It's like we were talking about earlier, a clean, good sounding chorus. AI is great at creating that. They can't possibly, I don't know, touch the rapping aspect, like whatever that is. They only have certain programs in there of like rap styles, since there's originality or whatever. But the choruses, the singing part, I want an AI to run that. I've been downloading app after app, and I can't find a good one. Not a free one, or one that actually generates, you know, an actual song.
Mm-hmm.
So, Otto, what do you use?
It's not going to give up his secret.
No, a bunch of people said his stuff, though. He said, yo, Otto, do you charge for video services? I know someone in need. What you talking about? You looking at the video services.
We do it here.
He just filmed the Hall of Fame ribs burn off, like the whole thing, dude. By the way.
Well, anyway.
Where were you? No.
Yeah, where was everybody? Otto
we were backstage, dude. It was dope.
Otto came up the first night?
Yeah, Otto
was cold.
there.
I tell you, it was cold Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
It was, once the sun went down, people kind of peeled away. But Sunday it was decent out, so there was a lot of people there. We should probably
that was the nicest day.
Do this little break real quick, because I think I got to use the bathroom and get a refill.
I agree with
So
all of the above.
Put Al on. Oh, hold on, he just disappeared. Let's see what he's doing here, because if he's not playing, by God, we can't leave.
You guys can look at Skibbity Toilet instead. Skibbity, skibbity, skibbity.
They are doing awesome.
Oh,
If you're saying you guys as in us, don't forget the show this weekend. Did I already say that? There's Al. Hey, we're gonna be right back. We gotta use the bathroom. Don't go anywhere. It's only gonna be like 5 minutes. Check Al out and all that. We shout. You guys keep it going in the chat, and we'll return after. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I gotta put our halftime thing in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the hookers
Almost
and
messed
cheap
up.
wine?
Almost did a thing.
Whatever it is, hookers and cheap wine.
Hookers and cocaine.
Hookers and cocaine. That's it. That's it.
All right. We don't have the low thing anymore. Right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll be right back.
We shall be having a brief intermission in our feature presentation. We'd like to remind you all there are snacks and light refreshments at the front bar, hookers and cocaine in the back room. I know where I'll be. The second half of our program will begin momentarily, a little darker, slightly more sinister. Good times for all. Thank you and good night.
Get away with a lot of things on the show.
Going hot. Look at Al. He's banging his head. Who's still out there with us?
Creature.
Gary's still there. I guess everybody else dipped out. It was like, well, they're gone. Bye. All right, Al. Bye-bye. We're back. We was kind of talking about, what was we talking about?
Some juicy shit. Brands and sponsorships.
Oh, that's right. Sponsorships and whatnot. And I said it's kind of funny, like, when you ain't nobody, when you really need the help from sponsorship, like, they were like, oh, we'll discount you such and such, whatever you're trying to do, you know what I mean? But when you're finally somebody, they throw you all kinds of shit for free. Here. And when you're somebody, you don't need free shit. You can just get it. Got the monies. But us people's down here at the bottom of the barrel, we just get a discount.
They want to hop on the bandwagon that's already doing good. And it is understandable
Some old
to a
discount.
credit. Like, it's like a credit company. It sucks, but it actually does make sense the way you do things, because you don't want somebody to take a huge loan and not be able to pay it back.
Sure.
You want a history of them saying, I've paid it back all the time.
Yeah, because if you give them tons of your product and they hand them out and they ain't nobody, you just wasted all that time and money.
Exactly. So it's a messed up situation.
Yeah, I get it, but it's just messed up. That's
Then
all.
there's like the little guy underneath who does have the credit
Gary
that's
sent
been
him
building,
back.
that it just needs to get
Sorry.
noticed. Well, I mean, for example, like you have contacts now. Since you've worked with people, you could ask for certain favors you wouldn't have been able to before. So that's the benefit of it. You know, you just push the limit. How much can I actually get and do for this person? Your mindset is more of like, what can I do for this person so they'd help me out, right?
Mm-hmm.
The person's only trying to see what can I get out of you, what
right.
they can get. That's the thing, and it's like you just got to approach it just like that.
420.
But these sponsorships. Speaking of, I'm looking up Shopify right now, the one that sponsors YouTube. And I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, I'm looking at Spotify, not Shopify.
I seen old Earl was telling him the other day over there at the spot. When I took him that wood, he had a shirt of his band. I was like, "That's nice. How much you got? How much you pay for it?" Oh, I'm sponsored. He had some beer on there. I was like, well, "Damn." After looking at that further, get this gas band moving, get us a sponsor, boy.
That'd be cool. Just get a
Mint's,
couple of their merch.
Sponsored by was that Vic Firth stick? No, one of them damn sticks, good ones. What's crazy is he was supposed to be one of them cats that was like discounted sticks, and they just send them now. They don't even charge him for them.
What?
Got
For
some
what?
Drumsticks.
Oh.
And these are the legit ones. These ain't no side company. This was one of the major companies.
It
was wild because I guess he got a whole dude's name or whatever and emailed him, and dude was like, "Yep," like not even real like bat an eye. I was like, "Damn."
That'd be cool.
But they was doing
and
good back then, though. They was getting it, playing everywhere.
Because you go through a lot of them, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you chopping wood when you're playing with them bad boys.
I've seen some videos. And it's like, whoa, okay.
If you go back there behind this kit back there and look on the ground by the hi-hats, there's a bunch of wood chunks
Pieces.
and dust. Yeah.
Going
all
ham.
that sort of jive.
It says, how to get a sponsor for Instagram events and more. You can contact the potential sponsors by sending an email pitch.
Emailing them, yep.
Or a direct message on a social media platform.
And you more than likely have to go to their promotions department when you do that.
The promotions department?
Yeah, when you email them instead of just going to Budweiser.com or whatever, you'd have to go to Budweiser.com/promotions, whatever,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well,
Which
man,
I'm sure if you go to their webpage, whatever this place is that you're trying to get it from, and you go, they probably got like a promotions department where you just click that.
yeah. I
know
bet
what
you
I
they
mean?
got a Skibbity toilet one right now. If you have any kind
A
of like
Skibbity
merch
toilet?
out there that you could literally be getting paid for just having that on camera currently, because it's such a high trending
What,
product.
that thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have
All
never
it would
thought.
do is that I think they send you like targeted advertising where you get commercials ever so
Uh-huh.
often. Not on lives, but on like
Yeah,
recorded
or-
ones. Yeah. And it'll be of toys
Uh-huh.
or whatever. And you could target which ones you want. Like this one specific.
They'd
This
probably
would
be
be
like,
like,
well, you know, you got that toy, but you got the 2 cuss words on it. If you erase that,
this one could be used for
put poop on there instead of shit.
this equipment right here. These microphones.
I would have said I didn't go nowhere.
You get commercials for microphones. It makes sense. You know, because it's a repetitious thing that's always
Right.
in camera. Getting sponsored by somebody who sends you microphones, all of a sudden you get new microphones all the time.
So yeah,
Microphone
Otto.
sponsors out there, hey, hit
we
us
need
up.
to we need to. That was another avenue we need to start thinking about some sponsorship. I think he said
brands.
that shit before, but
Big time
you
crunch
gotta
on
be kind
there.
of doing something, you know.
You got credibility with this show
Mhm.
already. This is a standing credibility right here. And you could use that to your advantage for a million things. Because if you wanted to, you could take clips from your show and turn it into something entirely different than it is.
Right.
You could make it a 15-minute video with
Well,
the right
that's-
editor.
Like that's what I was talking about. Like it was a few weeks ago when Pat was here when he was talking about, you know, climate change and all that. I want to grab that clip.
Yeah,
And make a clip out of that and go back and look at all these shows, because there were certain things that people said that was like, oh, that is great, but some people probably ain't gonna go back and watch the whole show, and you know what I mean.
Have that clip in there and then have the camera just move around all the time, like edit it, and then put captions
Right.
of what he's saying. Boom, there it is. That's it. On InShot, there's a way to do frame by frame.
He said this chat is
move it.
wonky.
And you can tell it where to go, but it's not like it's not very fluid. But that's a mobile app. I work mobily, so anything else that can
there's
be done.
one.
I got to
Wait,
tune
whoa,
back
whoa,
in.
whoa, whoa.
I was researching some brands and stuff, so everybody hold your dang horses.
Bushmaster said nothing in life is free.
Nothing.
Not enough clear unity
Actually,
is shown in
everything
Ohio.
is free to the right
Indie
person.
or mainline. Dog eat dog. You got that right. I always say that when you go out of Ohio, it's a completely different deal if you're in a band. It's like here in Ohio, they want you to sell tickets and bring people to their establishment. Or as soon as you get out of Ohio, they pay you to come play for the audience that they have there. It's a crazy concept, I know, but
Ohio
it actually is like that.
everywhere and weird. Very weird. Saw a bunch of videos about Ohio
We did
recently.
have fun at the burn off. We did.
People talking about it. It's kind of
Mid-
wild.
Only reason Mid's not sponsored by Mids is because his dad sold it. They don't have it no more. And what he's talking about when we say Mids, when I say Mid, I'm talking about Mid Octavio, the drummer for Thunderstruck. His grandpa was the one that started Mid Spaghetti Sauce. If anybody knows what that is. You know what? You ever had Mid Spaghetti Sauce?
I have not, but that's
It's
a
probably
whole...
the best sauce you can buy in a jar
Oh wow.
without making it homemade. Well, I don't. They probably tampered with the recipe. I'm sure a little bit by now, hopefully, but not. But
Take it right
It's a
down there
little
to
bit more
Amish country.
expensive than, you know, Ragu or Pregu or whatever the hell, but it's like I said, it's probably the best. And you know, every time Mid was like one of the first very few handful of people that was in ZZ Top's fan club when they started it. Mid was one of the very 10 people, 20 people
on it. Like,
so
yeah.
every time they came to town, he got, or actually every time, no, I'll take that back. When they went on tour, they would offer him to go anywhere that the tour was in the United States, and they'd fly him hotel room and backstage passes, and he used to give him the sauce every time he went.
What?
Yeah, and then
Who's Mid?
Huh?
Mid.
I just said, wasn't you listening? Mid is the drummer for Thunderstruck.
Oh.
My brother's old man. He's got Midio's videos on YouTube. Go down there and like, share, and subscribe. Midio videos. Check him out. He does drum videos. But his dad, his grandpa, was the one that started this company. It's out in Navarre.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's still there, and they still make the sauce.
We got some dang good ingredients. Like, you go down to Amish country, that dude would fare well down there, because like those are the freshest, best ingredients. And you know, if you deserve credit for something, I mean, yeah, put your foot in the door. I slightly deserve a little bit of credit for like
So
the
Gary
skate
must
park.
have got his $20. He went on a beer run.
Me and my buddy Jason, we were the first ones to come up with the concept of a new skate park in town. And this was when Evolution, before it ever came around and after it crashed, both of them. And we had set up meetings where these people would come out and talk to us. We had enough people show up. And we did this 2 or 3 times. And then we took it to the McKinley area where they have like the Christmas tree contests and stuff. They had a big meeting there. And we all pitched the idea. Me and Jason specifically pitched the idea of where it should be. And they come up with the concept. They went down to 9th Street. They started building. And then they had an investor come into it. Nobody ever got a hold of us, the people who started the whole thing. It was just all built, and our credit was never due to where it was. It was like, that was our idea. They took it, ran with it, and boom.
Ain't that a bitch?
There's a skate park now. You know, that's cool,
right.
but it does suck a little.
Gary says it's second I doctor up Ragu traditional when I don't make my own. See, I don't like the Ragu. I like the Prego. The Ragu tastes like Chef Boyardee raviolis. I just don't like that taste.
Ooh.
And Ron says I can't wait to see them at the spot. Yeah, boy,
Hey.
we're gonna rattle the nails loose there, boy. We're bringing all our own shit. We ain't even using their stuff.
Yes, sir. Dude, wait till you get a load of some of this equipment, homie. It's massive.
We're not bringing all that, just a small bit.
Well, what are you bringing? Are you bringing
You know
those
the
stacks?
2 tall speakers?
Yeah.
There was 4 of them. We're bringing 2 of those and my 2 subs.
Okay, those 2 speakers alone, Ron, in Cleveland, those, you know what that guy stood on and he almost fell off of, and everybody wishes he would have fallen off of? These speakers are as big as those, what he was standing on. Kid you not. Dude, this guy was up there being belligerent. He was rapping. He didn't even have the microphone in his, like, it was down here, and he was just going crazy. He was a popular person. A lot of people was cheering for him because he brought a lot of fans, and I think he was like a 2nd place winner even. That's how he knew it was a popular contest. This guy wasn't even doing anything. He was up on the speaker jumping, and this thing was rocking back and forth. Me, KP, and Ron were all standing behind it. If it would have fell, it would have fell on us. Everybody would have got hurt. So
that's crazy.
Ron puts his shoulder up like this and ends up like bracing the whole thing the entire time he's performing. We were thinking like, man, we should have walked away. We should have walked away.
I know what sauce that is. It's bomb. Or I mean, he said it's great, and Otto was like, it's bomb.
Hey,
it's good. I mean, like I said, it's pretty much the best sauce you can get in a jar.
You got some? I have to try it now. I feel
can't
left
afford
all
the shit.
out.
I'm a poor ass honky. I can't afford that mid sauce.
Dang.
Give me one of them EBT cards, I'll be buying that shit all day. Boy. No, I once in a while, I don't know, I'll grab it.
Bro, what did I make the other day? I wanted Waffle House, and I can't afford it, which is sad because Waffle House is actually cheap.
You said that's backwards, Tom Ragu. No, Prego. What is that?
Ragu? Oh, hell no. Prego? Ragu.
Yeah, I don't like the Ragu.
Who's got what backwards? I think that was...
He said I did, but I don't think so. I don't think so, man. I like that other stuff.
Well, this sausage gravy it was Waffle House hash browns is what I wanted. So I went to the store and I got...
Them things make you shit, boy. Whew.
Yeah,
I don't know what they cook them in, but boy,
it's
10 minutes after I leave that place, I got to go to the bathroom.
But it's a lot, and it's pretty cheap for what it is, and it's a hit or miss. It's pretty good, but I wanted to couldn't get the hash browns from like the Dollar General. They didn't have them or anything. I ended up getting waffle fries, and I made it.
Yeah, they're a little better.
Well, it was good. I put cheese in it. I put the gravy in it. And I just whipped it all up in a skillet. My goodness.
Ron said, Bushmaster says you want to link up and do a pop-up show in the future.
Hey, yo. Maybe so. That sounds fun, bro. Let me know the details. We're supposed to still get together and do that song, man. I've been waiting on that, too. I've just been chilling. I got so many songs right now.
I know he releases one every 4 hours.
Yeah, but I got so many that I haven't released.
Jesus, I can't keep up, man. I can't keep up.
It's insane. Just trying to get that right thing. You know, I'm gonna start emailing these companies. I'm gonna just go through, sit down, find a list of like record labels or whatever they are that will help, and email all these people a separate copy of a playlist of like the album, because if you put it on Spotify, you're already getting percentage taken out, A, and B, that's all where it's coming from. You have the original source, it's yours. But if you put it on theirs, it's funding through their internet provider, their website, or whatever it is, and that goes with anybody. But YouTube, it doesn't. YouTube is how you share your own file without having anything taken out of it. And so that's what I was thinking about doing, is like putting out a playlist. Like, hey, here's an album. It is, right? And you could pitch that to whoever if they want to listen to it.
Yeah.
So that was my idea.
I mean, basically, that's what mainstream bands are doing nowadays. They just throw the video out on YouTube.
Well, there's a big thing with
the
playlists.
song.
Everybody wants in on it. Not my type of play, like YouTube, but yeah, YouTube too. Spotify has playlists, and it goes through like what's trending and what they think you'll like
because of what you've played.
Yeah, and you have to pop up on that.
Yeah, I've seen, that's exactly what you're talking about, because when I open my YouTube and I go down to music and I come over and it'll have recommended playlists, which kills me because it happened last night or yesterday when I was doing it. Not last night, but afternoon or whatever. It had who was it? Like Upchurch, somebody else, and you, and up there. I almost took a picture of it because I thought that was funny.
Man, that's wild.
Had
that's
all
cool.
these major bands and then SeAth in there.
I've gotta be doing something. I don't know. I gotta get back on growing the YouTube. I think it's catching on like when it's moving.
Gary said, "Let's vote, Ragu or Prego." I say Prego, man. What you say?
Prego, probably.
There's 2 for Prego, and it looks like Outhouse likes Prego too.
It's just the one I have. It's a tend to grab. Like, oh yeah.
Like I said,
Man, I
that
get
Ragu
fancy,
got
though.
that fucking Chef Boyardee.
I'll go wild. Whatever's either A, cheap, or B, looks good at the time.
I think I'm missing comments. I don't know. I got all comments up.
Last one I got is Otto's. Gary, you have 14.
Yeah, me too. Ron said, "Oh shit, sounds killer." He said, "I used to do a lot of food catering orders in Evolution when I worked for Subway. Just because I didn't read them out doesn't mean I missed them."
I think I got Alfredo sauce.
I was going
and
to, but we was
noodles
talking and I forgot.
that I'm gonna cook up tonight.
So there. Brother Rodney. Did you ever see that dude? Talks about his brother Rodney.
Maybe. Probably.
His brother Rodney's, how you say that without offending somebody? I forget the word. Let's just not even go there. I'll show you when we get done.
Too sensitive.
Yeah.
Would
Don't
you-
want to offend nobody.
Yeah. Man, I guess I say things that
His
get thrown
brother
out of
Rodney is
context.
touched.
It's touch.
Yeah, he's touched.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. No, you're just gonna have to show me whatever video
Gary
it is.
said, I
Apparently.
hurt, man. I hurt. No Spotify. I had a Spotify thing, and then it got weird, and it quit working or something, so I was like pissed on it.
You know, I was
Because
on
that's
this
where I
thing.
was actually finding good shit, because it was sending me things that sounded like Alice in Chains and the shit that I was listening to, but it was new bands. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
See, the only problem with that is, like, I don't know how to tune in to where you are on the placement of that. Because for a while, I was on this website that said I was on iHeartRadio a lot. And I was doing good on it, too. And I couldn't see it at all. I couldn't tune into it. I mean, there's a lot of different stations. It wasn't giving me, like, I didn't know.
Ron says, I got a song focus upcoming made by B.S. Malone.
Hey, that's what's up, dude. Yeah, I've been hearing Clippets KP's been dropping, and it's fire. I'm like, oh, he's back on the booth, that's for sure. Back in the booth.
Oh, Otto said Tom and Seth, the guy with the bunny ears downtown. That was a funny story. So we was downtown, and this dude had these bunny ears. It was blinking and shit. Had them little LED lights in it.
He had a mask on,
and he was
too.
across the street.
He was a weirdo.
I think we was walking down Market right there by what's that lounge that them guys jam in?
George's
Lounge. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
We were going
was right
from the
there.
Oracle to George's.
Yeah, and this dude was walking down there, and he was on the
He
other
was like
side of the road.
following us low key on the right side.
So Otto got on his phone. He goes, "Yeah, you think you're a badass? I'm
Real
gonna
loud.
kick your ass, dude. Come on down here. Come down here. I'll fight you right now. I'm wearing bunny ears that are blinking and shit, or whatever." And then actually, this dude came across the street, come right up to us, man. He was like, it was hilarious.
He said,
"He's like,
"You
you
good,
all
bro?"
right? Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, "You good?"
You good?
I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. You good?"
You-
It was hilarious. That was funny.
Yeah, dude looked like he was up to no good. And then later on, we saw the ambulance and stuff up the road, and I was like, "That's probably that guy."
Yeah, got his ass kicked.
Nah, that's crazy.
I told that story before. Me and my one buddy went into Mr. Heroes up there on Tusk, and we were sitting there ordering. We had just got done ordering. You know how you order and you go to the left and you start making your drinks or whatever. And this dude come in, bro. Oh my God, it was the funniest shit I ever seen in my life. This dude comes in, he's bleeding in the face, got gravel and shit stuck to his forehead, scratches all up, elbows all tore up and shit, gravel in them. And he walks up to the counter, and the first thing that dude says on the other side of the counter is, "Hello, sir, how was your day today?" And this guy was like, "Fucking terrible, thanks for asking." I couldn't believe it, dude. And me and my dude started rolling. It was like, why in the hell, two things. If you're behind a counter and some dude walks up and he's got blood and gravel and road rash
Don't
all
ask.
over him, why would you ask him how his day is? Like,
Oh,
are you
man.
insane? And two, if you're that dude, why the hell wouldn't you go in the bathroom and wash your ass up before you come to the counter and order you a freaking Roman burger. You know what I mean? I was like, me and dude was dying, man. Somebody, I don't know. Either he just got his ass kicked or somebody got their ass tore up, bro. Because I'm telling you,
dude was hit.
we was dying, man. It was the
How was
funniest
your
shit.
day?
He said, "How was your day, sir?" "Fucking terrible. Thanks for asking." I was like, "Damn."
Damn.
Oh, that was so funny, man. That was just, oh.
It must have freshly happened.
It was,
He
dude.
walked
He
in
was
out
still
of shame.
sweating, breathing
Yeah.
heavy,
He's
blood
like-
dripping, rocks falling out of his forehead onto the counter and shit. Them little pea gravels. Oh my God, it was hilarious. I mean, I felt bad for the dude in a way, but just the way it all went down, I couldn't help but to laugh, dude. When he said that to him and then he said that back,
It's all about the timing.
Almost pissed my pants, dude. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they both said what they said. I was like, wow. That was a video moment if you ever had one. That was though. I think back then we were still on the flip phones. So we didn't have the flip out and real quick, you know what I mean? You had to
record
fucking
it,
do all
yeah.
this dumb shit to get to the camera. Wasn't like these smartphones, you go click and it's on.
Probably wouldn't hear the audio anyway.
Where are we at? Oh, I missed some shit here now.
Gary says Spotify just wasn't working. Makes you.
Gary
iHeart
said I
makes you
was
weak.
touched when I was a kid.
How'd I miss that? It's right above it.
He said, who isn't touched?
Oh Lord.
He touched him in the old butthole.
There's either a delay or I'm not caught up or something. One of the two.
Oh, yeah. The last thing said on mine is shit. It was Bushmaster. He said, he says, SeAth is nuts. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah.
D's nuts. But yeah, that was...
Nuts. Dude, there's a lot of things that this guy Ross does that Otto was kind of pulling in person, which was hilarious. And it's funny. You find yourself in those situations. My buddy Nick, he did one in school, and it was before we even like smoked. I don't know if they smoked or whatever, but it was with cigarettes. And he'd go around to the adults at the fair, ask if anybody had a cigarette, and they go to pull out a cigarette. No thanks, I don't smoke.
Bah.
Yeah, those type of interactions, they're scary to like make happen, but they're fun to live.
I learned a good one off of Gary, actually, when they ask you for, hey, man, you got an extra cigarette? Like, nope, they only come 20 in a pack. Ain't no extra.
Don't try again. That's like the teacher saying, no, you cannot go to the bathroom. May I go to the bathroom? Yeah. Duh. Terrible.
Stupid.
We were taught how to be sarcastic assholes.
Mhm.
That's what we were taught. Maybe that's just Ohio. That's why
I don't know.
stuff gets done.
Shit, you talking about in school?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Just-
couldn't get crazy back when we was in school because they was still allowed to beat you and stuff back then.
It's just like the outside world kind of doesn't really know what to do, so you don't have that value put in. Meanwhile, in Ohio, if you don't know what to do, we look at you like...
That's probably why these kids are doing what they do, going to these schools and, using them hole punchers and everybody because they don't have them teachers there kicking their ass. You get them weird thoughts that take you out in the hallway and whoop your ass and straighten you right back around. You know what I mean? That don't happen no more.
I mean, well, there's a common sense factor. Listen, I learned my lesson quick whenever I fell
You know how
asleep.
many times I got paddled when I was in fucking grade school and junior high? Well, not so much junior high, a little bit, but grade school, I got my ass tore up all the time.
Public embarrassment was more critical for us at the time because, like, it wasn't allowed to be a hands-on type thing. It was still in between or whatever. But public embarrassment was a big thing. And you do it to yourself. Once you do it once and you learn because everybody's looking at you like, oh, good job, you dummy, or whatever. There was this one time I had fallen asleep chewing on a pen and it went through the back of my mouth and I was bleeding and it was like during a movie or something. So I woke up in class and I had to go to the teacher and I'm like, I had to explain. He's like, Just get your ass to the office. Like, I don't even want to say he was mad. Yeah, I learned right then and there, never do that again. That was that common sense factor.
Ron said the stupid questions are the ones you don't ask.
Yeah. See, that's what I was saying earlier. I was like, if you're just standing around, try to say, like, hey, what can I do to help? Yeah, at least you won't be inputting where you would be doing it wrong or not doing nothing. A lot of people just don't come with that. I don't know. I'm not the hardest worker and I'm not the smartest person, but I know that that's a very strong phrase.
He said I would have cried. I think he's talking about the I wonder if they're delayed back that far on this
gotta be delayed back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On a dude. As they're laughing now. That was like 5 minutes ago.
That's all right. We'll stretch. We'll just sit right here and wait.
That's funny.
Hey, when you hear this very moment, type a 2 so we can see where we are. Let's see them 2s flood in, people. 2, 2, 2. Hey,
Deuces.
That's good luck anyway.
What's that?
2, 2, 2.
Yeah. Double deuce.
What is it?
What?
Spit it out, Junior. Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I watched anything crazy lately on TV. Nothing much.
Dude, Metro's
they
been
did.
reminding
They
me.
did open back up that highway that goes up the coast there by Malibu in California. The I forget C something California Coastal Highway, whatever it's called.
Oh, that's a big news thing. They opened a highway or something.
Because Larry was just out there a couple weeks ago, remember? Like 2 weeks ago, and it was closed because they had to go all the way up around the mountains to go where the hell they was going.
Oh, why? Because of the fires?
Yeah, they had that highway closed off that you always see it on the movies where they're driving down the highway and the water's on the one side and there's all the hills and the rich people's houses and all that shit.
Yeah.
Well, all that shit was burnt out.
Wow.
I was just watching, there's a YouTube channel I watch John Hicks go down there and do the thing, and he just rides one of them Surons around LA and all this stuff all the time and just films it and shit, and he
That's right. We were
rode
talking
out
about
there.
that. I remember because that brought in that whole conversation. That's wild.
He said SeAth likes the chicks with udders.
Ha! Fat bitches with udders. That's a KP thing. He started that, and then I made a whole little video where like it comes in with a cow or something. I don't know. It's pretty good. It was a great little bumper for the start to our podcast that we never took off with. We did 3 or 4 episodes and never got anywhere. It was insane. Dude, those are still stocked on my YouTube. All I have to do is hit public. Now that I've strayed from Big Buff, I could, because they're entertaining. Like, the one point, Ron's just sitting there, and he's out of the loop, so I put a bunch of smoke in the background and made his eyes all red. Just dazed out, you know. Me and Poe are trying to force conversation. Huh?
You know what a sex cow wants?
Sex cow?
Yeah. More.
More. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
These guys are laughing over here. Gary said it's better to sit there and look stupid than
Open your mouth and remove all the doubt. Oh, Lord. Probably. Because you just dig yourself deeper and deeper.
Mm-hmm. Although it just depends, because as I've probably told this story before, the first time I ever did Spotlight was at the Canton Civic Center, and they're like, "Hey, Dalo, you know how to run a Spotlight?" Hell yeah. I get up right, I didn't know how to turn it on. I'll go to the dude on the next one over, like, "Dude, how's this thing work?" He goes, "All right, well, this," I was like, "How do you turn it on?" And they're like, "Oh, right here, there's the button, this the iris, this the this is that." I was like, "All right, cool."
Wow.
I wasn't going to turn that job down. I've done that on a few of them gigs. They're like, "Hey, you know how to," yep.
See, I wouldn't
figure
be
that
able
shit
to do
out
that.
real quick, man.
I don't know. I probably would be able to do it to an extent, but like when I go into
Otto
something,
sent me some shit, but I can't look at it right now.
that anxiety starts flighting up. Like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Shoot.
Bushmaster
I'm gonna
said,
let him down.
I went to school in the suburbs. I actually liked it. Stop it. You don't like nobody or no things.
He was saying that he grew up with people whiter than me, I'm like, what? Okay, but
Damn, how could they be whiter than him? He's pretty frosty over there.
my dad with his white hair, walking around looking like this piggy bank. Or no, this toilet's probably whiter than that.
You know, that's
Shining.
a singing pig, right?
Singing pig.
Yeah. And you know why you don't hump a pig?
Why?
Because it'll squeal on you.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I can't think that fast. in the
Damn,
moment,
he's
but I
just
know
now
a million
putting
of
twos
them.
in there.
Holy
Wow,
crap.
that's like, you guys are way behind.
We are. Yeah, it's got to be. That's insane.
Or unless we're behind on there.
We're both in tune with it. Unless
I
it's
don't
your
know.
specific Wi-Fi or through this specific setup.
Gary says just advice, not meant for
ridiculously
everyone.
Delayed. I was beginning to think that nobody was listening to me and wasn't going to type it.
Yeah. You know, that's great advice in the union, stagehand union, because you just stand around and you can stand around and look stupid, not know, and get away with it. They're like, all right, cool. They just need people up their bodies.
Yeah. Which is wild to think
It
about.
is. You wouldn't believe the dudes up there. They make more effort trying to get out of work and dodging and dipping and hiding in the crevices and shit to just do the damn work.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How much of that knowledge do you think the band members know?
As far as what?
Like setting up stuff. Do you think some of them just come like, okay, like I know the music part, that's my job, I'm done?
No, I mean, because all them bands didn't start there. They started where everybody else does, carrying their shit in, setting it all up.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it's different
I'm
from
not going to
rappers.
say each band member knows all of it, but there's at least one or two guys in every group that knows what's going on with everything.
I think there's a separation that nobody talks about, and there's no definition for. But like these rappers, like me, go around with this knowledge of, okay, I can plug my phone in and I have sound. I don't need to do any. I know how to make a beat and I know how to play an instrument. I still don't need to do anything more than it. No, there's a whole system to it, to everything that gets set up. Each speaker and how it works, how an amplifier works, how a mixer works. You know, all this knowledge that people don't know. I don't know. I can't speak for Ron, but I bet Ron doesn't know just as much as I don't know. Like, if you have a speaker go out and it's got more than 3 chords, dude, it's on you. I don't know what you're doing.
I said my teach Miss Missy like getting spanked. And then Ron said, hey, Seth, put a place named Karma Social on your performance radar in Canton. Gary said, that's great. I grew up in the projects. I can verify that.
I know Karma Social. What is? Oh, I know who they are. I have opportunities to play there. That's that hookah lounge that's up there by Great Work and the
I've heard of that,
Goodwill
I think.
Outlet. It's up there by Goodwill Outlet, right across the street from Salvation Army.
Yeah, that's where my shop is, right behind there.
Yeah. Karma Social is in that little
Plaza
area.
there.
They're a hookah bar and they do all kinds of stuff. We went there for a comedy show. Man, this old guy went up and had us dying laughing,
I
dude.
did not know that.
No offense, but they were dead. And they always seem to be very dead. So if you had a show there,
What the hell are
you have to
talking
bring the
about,
audience.
Gary, I went back to work. How long you thinking?
We need to bring the audience if we do Karma
Just
Social.
what the hell you talking about, son? This show? About to end
They're
this
so
sucker.
delayed, we have no idea
I
what
know.
they're talking about right now. Yep, Karma is right there too. How did that come
Too
up?
small for gas. I don't know.
Oh, because Ron said it. So now they're going back and forth
Oh,
with what
yeah, that's right.
Ron said.
Yeah, he said put that place on there to look. We don't even know what's going on around here
Nope.
anymore.
We will be back after these.
It's about that time, though. It's been 2 hours, hasn't it?
It's 10:05.
Actually, 2 hours on the nuts. 2 hours and 15, 17, 18, 19, 20 seconds.
Oh, I'm behind. I thought we still had to go like I was still a while longer. Well, shit. I bet that was an experience, Gary.
Gary grew up there, right up the street from me, right up here in Chip's apartments, right there.
Ah.
I don't know what it's called now, but right up here.
Yeah.
That's where Gary was.
That's wild.
Vouch for that. We're seeing crazy shit when we drop Gary off or be picking him up. Usually dropping him off in the middle of the night. Motherfuckers will be wilding out up there, boy. It's crazy shit.
I don't know what kind of drugs.
We was there one time. We was in Gary's house one day doing what we do and hearing all this commotion and shit. We come out and these two dudes was fighting over a freaking McDonald's cheeseburger.
Oh, yeah, you get it all out there, dude.
Well, because I guess, or no, actually, no, we wasn't. We had just come back and Gary was like, hey, anybody want this cheeseburger? I'm not going to eat it. One dude, I'll take it. So he tossed it to dude. And dude, as it was coming, the other dude smacked it on the ground. Oh. And it opened up and got on the ground, and one dude was pissed. They was about to fight. And then this other dude was like, shit, I'll take that motherfucker. I don't care if it's on the ground or not. And he got it. Then the other two was really pissed. It was funny. It was about this big brawl over this cheeseburger.
On the ground cheeseburger.
I'll never forget.
Oh, man.
One night we came back from a fishing trip. We was all out at this place. We used to jam out in Minerva in this trailer. They had a pond and shit out the back. We could fish in and we get loud as we want, carry on and shoot and whatever the fuck. But Gary, it was me, Gary, and my cousin Chuck, and we came back and we pulled into the projects up there, and there was cops everywhere. Cops, ambulances, fire trucks. They had everywhere. We stopped. All right, Gary, get out. He got out. We turned and went back up and went to the light and turned left to come back down here. And by the time we got down here to this, the little hill right here, the next street up from mine, they already had us pulled over, me and my cousin. He was driving. And luckily, this is one of the times that Gary wasn't bullshitting somebody and actually told him. He probably added some shit to the story, but his story lined up with ours, which was the truth that we was out fishing. Yeah. And we had all the gear in the car and all that shit because, man, they searched the shit out of us, man. And we'd been drinking and shit, but they didn't. They really want to know what was going on because we like pulled in and Gary jumped out and we backed out real quick. You know what I mean?
What was going on that was so heated?
I don't even remember what the hell was going on. Just bullshit.
They were looking for something.
Yeah, well, it was probably somebody got in a fight or stabbed or shot or something.
Yeah,
you
like
know
a
what
weapon.
I mean? Up there, yeah, more than likely. I can't remember. It's been years ago. I just remember we got down here. We got pulled
lucky.
over. And what was funny is Chuck had a bag of weed. And he went to put it under his seat, and the cop that was on my side, you could see it. Like I looked down, I was like, oh shit. And there was like 3 or 4 different cars, and the one had a K9, and the K9 jumped out, came right over to the car, circled around it, jumped across the street, went in the weeds, started using the bathroom and shit. And then we was like, hey man, we just got back from fishing, blah, blah, blah. Chuck was like, I'm dropping him off right here, which was right here. And then he was like, I'm going home. And he lived 2 blocks around, go up to the stop sign, go down to the next road, make a right. And there was his house.
Yeah.
And they was like, all right, well, you guys go home.
Yeah.
They was pissed. They thought we was probably involved in whatever, and we just, you know what I mean?
Dude,
it was crazy, though.
There's this time I was out, I usually go down to this park that's down from my road, and it's like an open baseball field. I'll take like my dog down there to go potty or whatever, and I'll go down there to eat. And one time I went down there to eat, and I was just chilling there. I had just pulled up, and I was like mid-smashing some food.
This was the early 90s and shit when Gary was there, I believe.
Well, there's this cop that pulled up, and I think they pulled up pretty heavy, but I didn't notice. Or they did, and it was just all at once. But there was like 4 cop cars, and only the one had lights on it, bright lights. And they immediately started shining at me, and I'm like, eating, like, I don't know what's going on. I've done nothing wrong. And they come out, then they ended up talking to me at the window, and we were talking about whatever, and they were like, have you had any shots tonight? And I was like, no, we're just sitting here eating them, you know, blah, blah, blah. He's like, okay, because we heard shots around here. It registered to me, he's like, have you heard any shots around here? And I was sitting in the middle of like a firing, somebody had just fired a weapon right there, you know, and I was in a hot seat. I was like, oh, no, can I go home? Like, let me out of here,
Nope,
dude.
don't know nothing.
Yeah, they pulled up, but they thought I was involved with it. And they were like looking all through, and I'm like, dude, what the heck could they want? I'm eating a sandwich just chilling here at the park.
Yes, Lauren, the piggy bank does say sing on it. You missed the joke earlier. You know why you don't hump a pig? Because it'll squeal on you.
Watch, they're gonna hear that twice.
I know.
I don't know how. My phone was at like 80%.
Gary
but
said, I
it's
got to watch this again later.
dead.
Highland
That
Park
good, huh?
before that, just the cheese. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did live over there, too. I forgot about that. He actually did grow up in Highland Park, and then they moved to Chips.
Oh, okay. Either way, rough.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I used to live over on 30th. It was connected to 62. We come down here to party all the time, and I couldn't
Lorena.
tell you
Did I
what
say
kind of
it
drugs
right?
I did.
Said it wrong the first time. Sorry, Lorena.
We got mixed in with the Wild West crew and Nathan's Patio and people who were doing stuff in and out of there. That was with that girl I told you that tried to break down my door with those two dudes. It was a mess. It was a mess. And that, yeah, you'd find that same kind of shenanigans right down there. Nuts. Now my ex lives in what that remodeled Highland Park is now. So like vice versa, only not in the same time era. I grew up in East Sparta.
I knew what you meant with the cheese. You didn't have to put fight. But anyway, it's about that time. We got to get out of here. Our help has to get the hell out of here, which is big thank you to Len back there getting down with the cameras and whatnot.
We have fun
And,
today, guys.
Don't forget, this Saturday, 5 p.m., you can go down to the Facebook. There's flyers and stuff. The Gas Band free show over at the spot. Don't
If you're
forget,
not there, I don't know what you're doing.
we would never tell you to like, share, and subscribe, but definitely go back and watch some of the old shows. Go watch some of the live performances.
Yeah.
Ron said, I never felt unsafe in Highland Park. That place gets a bad rap. But anyway, we shall see you all next Wednesday, hopefully, right? Thank you all for hanging out with us
Yeah.
and all that sort of jive.
Matt, I see
And,
you. I just can't see what you said.
Go down to our Seth's got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We both got Facebooks. If you ain't down there yet,
MediaFarm330.com.
yep, got that too.
SeAth _
If you go down to
hip-hop.
MediaFarm.330.com or whatever, you can get signed up for the emailing list, and you'll find out what's going on, if we got events and all that stuff.
Check out all the
Keep you
fun stuff
updated on all the good stuff.
Tom Dalo's doing on Facebook.
And
Spelled
I'm
just
going to
like
be
that.
editing these videos from the Hall of Fame here soon and getting them posted up. So
Do you guys
there'll be
got
some music there.
a Media Farm Facebook?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay, there's one called Media Farm on there. When I went on tagging and I typed
yeah?
it come up, and I was like,
Maybe that's why.
I don't know if Otto created that or what, because it didn't look like any of our logos.
No.
But we need one. Otherwise, go to Tom Dalo on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Well, the only reason I didn't is because I already had mine built up so much.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's
that didn't-
hard. I
Yeah.
have a music one and
I'm
a
already
regular.
there, so I was just like, I'll just use mine. But if we get bigger and bigger, then I guess we'll get one and
Well, just make that
transfer
for your
all
like
these
your
people.
business one, yeah.
all that stuff.
Thing is, whenever you're like advertising, it's hard to switch between what profile you want to present,
He
because then
said,
it
Ron
don't
said,
load.
absolutely, Mrs. Lorena, and he said, Mister. So I was thinking, but now I remember. Oh yeah,
That's Matt,
yeah.
Mr. Lorena
Why
Kacheri.
don't you just put Matt down there? Got us all confused.
Just call him Kacheri. He likes it. He thinks it's funny, asshole.
Gender.
We had a whole
Gender
debate on
guessing
Beanzo's
motherfucker.
stream at one point. Like,
Anyway,
hey, you got to choose a
we
name.
we was on our way out of here, so
Yeah.
peace out, y'all.
Peace, love,
We're
positivity.
gonna go.
do what,
Yep,
do what we
yep.
do.
See ya. Peace out. Bye.